the most modern firefighting technology. Fireboat number 2, Warner Lawrence, is one of the most powerful fireboats and can discharge 38,000 gallons of water per minute. These fireboats ensure that the port and the fire department maintain a high level of service for many years to come. We are back at the Los Angeles Maritime Museum. We hope you enjoyed your virtual harbor tour at the Port of Los Angeles.
You're arriving at Los Angeles International Airport in beautiful Southern California. One of the first things you will see as you are landing is the ever-iconic LAX Theme Building. The LAX Theme Building is a modern icon and recognized worldwide as the space-age landmark of one of the world's youngest and most influential cities. Designed by architectural firm Ibara and Luckner, the building was completed in 1961 and features an observation deck and the Bob Hope USO. The spider-like appearance of the building is a playful and futuristic design illusion created by topping 4 steel reinforced concrete legs with stucco. The building received cultural historic status from the city of Los Angeles for its distinguishing characteristics, which are valuable to the study of that period's style and method of construction. It is also an example of mid-century modern Googie architecture. The LAX Theme Building serves as the symbolic gateway to Los Angeles, and the futuristic design is intended to convey new prosperity and the embrace of technological innovation. It has been and continues to be a constant reminder of Los Angeles' drive to be the city of tomorrow.
Hello everyone, I'm Susan Huckle, and here's what's happening in LA this week. Preparing for the big one. The annual shakeout is a national reminder, especially for those in California, to plan and prepare for when there's an earthquake. Knowing the drill and practicing what to do are key life-saving strategies.
So we're at the Emergency Operations Center here in Los Angeles for the Great Shakeout, an annual event where all these different agencies come together to ensure preparedness for an earthquake. All of us in California, and particularly Los Angeles, have been through earthquakes. We know it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how big. And it's really a matter of how prepared are we all. The fire department continually prepares for earthquakes.
Today, millions of people worldwide will participate in earthquake drills at work, school, and at home so that they know what to do in case of an emergency. And as a city, we're taking every measure we can to ensure that our homes, buildings, and most importantly, Angelenos are safe.
In order to be prepared, you have to practice. So we designate a day, the third Thursday of October, at a designated time to remind people that it's important to communicate how you will be ready for a disaster. Take a moment to practice because we want everybody to remain safe.
Ensure that you have your emergency supply kit. Ensure that you have enough items in your kit to sustain your family for 3 days. You have pets, make sure that you're also accounting for them.
Right now we're standing inside the Big Shaker earthquake simulator. The simulator simulates a 7.5 magnitude earthquake. So the whole goal of this is to make sure that family and friends are prepared at home if an earthquake were to happen. So top-heavy furniture, TVs, any items that can turn into projectiles, especially glass, as we want to make sure we're securing those.
People need to be self-sufficient to begin with. So we want people to be prepared at home. It starts with you and your family. You know, do you have your furniture secured? Do you have an emergency kit? Do you have a family communication plan? And when an earthquake actually does happen, remember the 3 things. It's drop, cover, and hold on that you need to do.
what you should do is get down on the ground. That's what we call drop. Cover your head and neck, and if you can get under a table for additional shelter, that's going to protect you from what causes the most injuries, which is falling or flying objects. You can have your earthquake drill any day of the year. So if you haven't already registered at shakeout.org to be counted in the annual total or to find out a lot of the guidance materials we have, go to shakeout.org and join us. And that way you also get notified for next year when we'll be doing this again.
Reaching out to seniors. The Office of the City Attorney joined Councilwoman Tracy Park to highlight free services that the city offers. The city attorney plans to visit every council district to spread the word and offer additional support to seniors.
Today we are in Westchester in City 11 of Los Angeles City, and the city attorney's office is hosting an event that gathers different government organizations and small nonprofits to share their services and what kind of outreach options they have for senior citizens in this area.
We offer free minor home repair and accessibility improvements.
Talking about the Handy Worker program, which I'd never heard about it before, where they'll provide services to replace things, repair things, or whatever.
So please reach out to us. Know that you can lean on us, and we are always here to help.
We have providers from across city and government agencies that work very closely with our seniors to meet their needs in our community.
You really need all the information you can get, and we all have questions.
Our aim is to actually hit every city district. We definitely feel like senior citizens are sort of an underappreciated, underreached demographic that we want to share this information with them.
They're all here giving information to all the seniors here about their services, and we're just kind of trying to find out what's available, and I found out there's lots of interesting things available for us I never realized, so this is great.
Well, we have a rockin' senior center, and there's something for everyone. So I have a lot of fun here. I think more people should come. It's a community.
Sometimes a lot of seniors get lonely or bored at home, so I think they should just come down here and just interact with their own peers and everything. That's what I like, just being around with other people.
For more information, go to cityattorney.lacity.gov.
You ladies have any questions for me?
They should sign up for my newsletter at cd11.lacity.gov and follow me on social media at Councilwoman Tracy Park.
The LA Found program is a county-wide initiative that can connect caregivers whenever those they care for wander or go missing. The program gives both help and information, but can really provide peace of mind for caregivers.
Thank you all for joining us here at Grand Park for this very special day, LA Found Day. One of my constituents went missing, and unfortunately she was never found alive, and that prompted me to say, we in Los Angeles County need to do better, and we launched the Bring Our Loved Ones Home Task Force. Today we're launching a new GPS watch where caregivers and family members and loved ones can keep track of their loved one who has Alzheimer's or a child who has autism, so that they never wander too far from home.
This is why we're here today, to really feel like there's a better coordinated effort in Los Angeles to address the needs for people who wander.
Having this on Jordan is such a relief because we know we can find her quickly if she wanders off.
So this is a Theora GPS watch. So what this watch is, gives its live GPS location every 15 minutes or so, as long as Jordan's wearing it. Caregivers can be able to track this watch. With this watch, we can also set what's called a geo fence, which is a electronic fence around any property. And if the watch leaves that geo fence or enters the geo fence, the caregivers will get an alert as well.
So make the first call to see what resources are available, to see how we can support you and who we can link you up to. And ultimately, if your family member does need that bracelet, we will provide a free bracelet to your loved one to support you through that. And as we expand on our technologies, it might be a different technology. Today we've demonstrated the Aura Care, and Project Lifesaver is still a foundational piece within this program, but there are other technologies out there too.
It was actually really super good. I always wanted a watch like this, just to do some touchscreen kind of stuff.
The stories we heard today were really inspiring from family members who first struggled with one of their loved ones going missing, and then the joy they found when they realized that LA Found existed, and they enrolled in the program, got the bracelet, which gives them tremendous peace of mind to keep their loved ones near.
LA's Community Investment for Families Department gathered with advocates and survivors to mark Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The City of LA recognizes the unique challenges these survivors face, not only during this month, but year-round.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and while I am grateful to be here alongside city leaders, survivors, and advocates, I truly wish we didn't have to gather for this reason.
We're here today to recognize the unique challenges that survivors experience. And for us, this is not just a month-long campaign. This is a year-round commitment to continue to advocate for additional resources.
This council has chosen to make historic and unprecedented investments in supporting survivors and their families. In 2024, we secured and have continued to sustain the single largest increase in survivor services in the city's history, adding 188 new domestic violence shelter beds to our system.
Over the past decade, the city's investment in services for survivors has grown from $2 million to $18 million. This growth represents more than just a financial investment. It's a moral one.
Today we're here to uplift the unprecedented historic investments that we've made into programs such as Survivors First, which is a housing first program for survivors. $18 million have been invested in these resources to give people a landing place.
Oftentimes survivors of domestic violence need to flee from their home that they've been used to so that they don't fall victim to the same forms of abuse.
The Community Investment for Families Department is proud to partner with now 16 service providers, and they're offering emergency shelter, transitional shelter. They are connecting survivors to permanent housing through our Survivors First program.
Giving people an opportunity to escape violence that they're experiencing is one of the best solutions to these situations, because we know that, restraining orders are a piece of paper, and that doesn't stop harm from happening. But a new home, a safe home, can prevent harm and violence from happening in the future. So that's why I'm here and throwing down for these resources and these investments, and I'll continue to do so.
For more information or to connect survivors to resources, please visit our website.
Mayor Karen Bass recently announced a new no-cost program through LA's Department of Water and Power, which is designed to help Angelenos save money on their water bills. The new Landscape Efficiency Assistance Program, or LEAP, is funded by a $14.6 million grant from the California Department of Water Resources. According to the mayor, the LEAP program aims to convert over 1 million square feet of turf into water-wise gardens and is projected to save more than 85 million gallons of water annually. Customers within disadvantaged communities may qualify for free services to replace traditional lawns with a drought-tolerant landscape. For more information, search for LEAP at ladwp.com. LA Sanitation and Environment's City Facilities Recycling Program is holding its annual condiment and utensils drive. LA Sanitation is collecting sealed, unused utensil and condiment packets through November 7th. Help keep these packets out of the landfill by donating them at one of 6 public locations, Monday to Friday, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The donated items are provided to local shelters and nonprofits for use in their meal services. For more information, see the Education tab at sanitation.lacity.gov.
With a growing Latino community in South Central LA, it was time to celebrate with the first ever local Latino carnival. Council President Marquise Harris Dawson joined the community to mark Latino Heritage Month with an impressive lineup of musical acts.
Today we're here at the Latino Carnival, the first annual Latino Carnival we've had in South Central LA. We have La Banda Limón, La Original. We have La Banda Maguey. We have Capaz de la Sierra. We have over 30,000 people have showed up and it's building.
This is a celebration for all of Los Angeles, Latino Carnival here in the heart of the 9th Council District. I'm standing in today for my brother on the council, Councilmember Curran Price, who represents this area. This is one of the biggest celebrations we have anywhere in the state of California for Latino Heritage Month, and we're excited to celebrate today all the music, the art, the food, the dancing, but most important, the community.
The significance to have the festival in South Central is that it's the heart of the Latino community in LA. Over 300,000 people that live in District 9, 80% of them are Latino, and for them to have a festival here on Avalon at South Park is a big deal and the first of many.
Queremos que la gente siga disfrutando de la vida. Sabemos que esos momentos son difíciles, pero no podemos caer en la trampa del miedo y el terror y el trauma, que es lo que quieren hacer. Así es que invitamos a la comunidad latina que sigan con dignidad, que sigan fuertes. El pueblo protege al pueblo.
De verdad que significa todo para nosotros estar aquí en este festival latino, especialmente en Los Ángeles, donde sabemos que está pasando muchas cosas, así que estamos representando a los latinos. We are here for you guys. We're here representing our culture, our beautiful, beautiful culture. And we're going to bring merengue, we're going to bring music, we're going to bring our vibe to all of you guys. Thank you so much. We love you.
¡Oro sólido! ¡Oro sólido! ¡Hasta las 15 de la mañana!
Thank you guys for coming out to South LA. There's so many beautiful faces out there. Everybody was singing the words. So amazing in so many ways. It's hard to even pinpoint it. So yeah. It was a beautiful event.
On behalf of our office at the City of LA, we got your back. We're here. We're going to keep having events, spaces, community. Go to our offices. You are not alone. You are never alone. We're going to keep reclaiming spaces, reclaiming our joy, and making sure that our safety is what we have at the forefront of our community. Así es que a celebrar. Keep celebrating.
From the high cuisine of France to the food truck scene of LA, a recent culinary heritage event proved that food has a connecting power. The celebration honored French and Mexican food traditions as part of the Olympic handover from Paris to LA.
Welcome to La Plaza, and for those of you coming back, welcome back.
So tonight we are actually featuring James Beard winning, Michelin-starred owned restaurateurs, chefs, talking about the culinary heritage between France and Mexico.
We come from indigenous roots.
It's a really wonderful event here at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes that's focused around the Columbus Exchange, which is kind of a fascinating part of history. As expressed by 4 incredibly wonderful local chefs.
So tonight we get to celebrate culinary arts as part of living cultures and the flavors and the techniques and the cultural heritage that they represent. Tonight, the Los Angeles County Department of Arts and Culture is collaborating with La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, where we are now, to present a special evening highlighting food as culture. The event is called LA Culinary Heritage, Mexico and France, as we are featuring 4 incredible chefs from LA that uplift Mexican traditions, but sometimes with a twist or with French techniques.
Last year, we partnered as part of the Paris 24 Olympics and sent one of our partner chefs to participate in a culminating event as part of the Olympics and Paralympics in Paris. And one of the things we've learned is that there's actually a lot of regard between both cultures and a recognition of those similarities And so in the experience last year in Paris, there were so many really interesting ways in which people connected the similar ingredients, but how they manifested differently. And so we wanted to do a similar thing here in Los Angeles. And here we are tonight, as you can see, with a crowd filled with people excited and hungry to learn about the culinary connections between Mexico and France. La Plaza is actually celebrating our quinceañera, our 15-year anniversary in 2026, and we invite everybody to come and experience everything from walking through our galleries, through our Summer of Salsa programs, to our Cinco de Mayo family days, and to be part of learning and experiencing all that makes Latinos in Los Angeles such an important part of our community.
Getting in the groove and keeping joy on tap are vital experiences in these tense times. It was good vibes only at a concert in the park for Latino heritage, where the community gathered to enjoy some Latin jazz sounds.
Today we had a concert in Sherman Oaks Park to celebrate the end of Latin American Heritage Month. So we had Adelaide Pilar doing a Latin jazz performance.
This is the first time when our office started doing these, the first time that we've started doing events here regularly. And it's been an exciting way to bring the community together.
We're celebrating Latino Heritage Month, so it is a privilege to be up here with my band, representing all kinds of Latino countries, because I'm representing Mexico and Texas, Tejana, 100% right here. And then we have a member from Brazil, from Argentina, from Venezuela, our guitar players from Mexico. So I would say we're like the Latino consulate, right? We just make great music together that we want to share with everyone here, get them up dancing, celebrating our heritage, our culture, all the things that we're proud of.
I think events like this and neighborhoods like this are just everything that you need. Obviously the community that it creates and just it's such a great environment. You know, anything we can do to bring people together like this is, 10 out of 10 in my book. We love to provide an opportunity for people to get out here and hear some music and dance in a free environment in a park that's in their neighborhood. We've been doing these for a few years now, and we think that this was a really great time to celebrate Los Angeles' Latino community.
This summer has been an interesting season for concerts in the parks. We play a number of Latino neighborhoods, and the turnout has been hit or miss. There's a lot of tension definitely going around the Latino community. So please keep on coming, supporting live music. It means the world to us.
You can find more information about what CD4 is doing at our website.
In this week's feature story, we take a look at the Lincoln Heights Youth Arts Center. Based in the oldest of LA's suburbs, this is a place where the local youth step into the theater spotlight and learn all about stagecraft.
We are the newest of the DCA art centers. That feels silly because we've been open since 2011 here in the beautiful neighborhood of Lincoln Heights. Lincoln Heights is the oldest suburb of Los Angeles. This building is, as you can maybe tell, with the beautiful stained glass windows, this was a building built in the 1930s as a church. And something that I really truly love about our center's history is that people constantly comment to us that it still feels like a sanctuary. It still feels like we are doing the work of healing people, coming together, finding joy, finding connection, and that is absolutely what still happens here today. We got our start as a music center, as a music education center. And since then, we've been really, really fortunate to grow our education programming into cross-disciplinary arts education. So now we offer musical theater, branching out of music. We also have a dance program. We also have classes in the media arts. We also have a poetry program. Our teachers are masters in their craft. A world-class pianist or a world-class phenomenal hip-hop dancer.
We did a performance. It was really nice. I liked it.
That's pretty much the essence. We want people to feel strong, accepted, and find their voices here through the arts and culture. We are so, so proud of Rosalio Munoz. He's a lifelong activist that we are so fortunate to call our own here.
It's U.S. history, Chicano style.
So he has amassed a great amount of archives, photos, newspaper clippings, the history not only of the Chicano movement, but specifically the rise of the Mexican American people here in Los Angeles.
The Chicano movement, the Mexican American movement, the way we built the movement was on an ocean of culture.
And we curated about 99 pieces that we felt would tell the story that we were trying to get across, which is that we see a lot of similarities between the problems and the issues that our people are confronting today with issues that we were facing back in the 60s.
We're going to start organizing in our own neighborhoods to start helping build here in Los Angeles the largest concentration of Mexican Americans, to start a civil rights movement.
That spirit of activism is still very much alive today in Lincoln Heights. Mayor Eric Garcetti in 2017 signed his executive directive number 20 here. Basically, it planted the seeds to create Los Angeles as a sanctuary city. That history happened right here, so we're really proud of that. It is imperative that the Department of Cultural Affairs and the City of Los Angeles continue to create spaces and fight for spaces such as the Lincoln Heights Youth Arts Center. It's possible to choose the arts. It's possible not only to choose a career in the arts, but to be successful in the arts. We need that. We need more people of all colors, but especially people of color, to know that this is possible. That is so, so important that that continues. Everyone is welcome to follow us on Instagram. We are at dca.lhyac, and that's really where we post all of our upcoming activities, our events that we have, our classes that we have.
In this week's Things to Do, creeping it real for Halloween at St. Andrew's Rec, smash it at the Great Pumpkin Bash, and gather to celebrate on Dia de los Muertos. All this up next on Things to Do.
The spookiest night of the year is here, and LA City Department of Recreation and Parks has scares aplenty across the city. Join Rec and Parks and Council President Marquise Harris Dawson as they present a frightful Halloween at St. Andrew's Rec Center. Along with a haunted house, there'll be costume contests, carnival games, arts and crafts, snacks, and more. Head to St. Andrew's Place for a truly haunted Halloween at St. Andrew's Rec on Friday, October 31st, beginning at 4:30 p.m. For more details, see the Instagram for the Rec Center at St. Andrew's Rec. The Great Pumpkin Bash is back. The annual bash is hosted by Councilwoman Katie Yaroslavsky, who says, "Smash it, don't trash it." After the jack-o'-lanterns have burned out, take your pumpkin to the 3rd annual Great Pumpkin Bash on Saturday, November 1st. Take your swing in the pumpkin smash zone and then compost those jack-o'-lanterns. There'll also be a kids' costume parade, games, prizes, pumpkin-themed treats, and a special activation by the Discovery Cube. Head to Pan Pacific Park for the Great Pumpkin Bash on Saturday, November 1st at 11 a.m. For more information, visit the newsletter section at cd5.lacity.gov. Join the 24th Street Theater for their annual Dia de los Muertos celebration. This year marks the 20th year of this community event. On Sunday, November 2nd, enjoy live music, dance performances, artisan and food vendors, altars, a Ferris wheel, and much more. Is that Council President Marquise Harris Dawson and Councilmember Eunices Hernandez in their Calavera makeup? You never know who you'll meet in this festive crowd. Head to University Park for Dia de los Muertos at 24th Street Theater on Sunday, November 2nd, beginning at 6 p.m. For more information, check out 24thstreet.org. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's all for this week. I'm Susan Huckle, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. Remember that you can watch us online anytime at lacityview.org. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Planning for emergencies is smart, but does the family emergency plan include pets?
Police joining us today. We will
Los Angeles City Council. Today is Friday, the 24th day of October in the year 2025. Public comment for this morning's meeting will be taken in person in these John Ferraro Council chambers. Madam Clerk, let's begin our proceedings by calling the roll.
Yes, sir. Blumenfeld, Harris, Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Gerardo, Lee, McCosker, Nazarian, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky, 10 members present and quorum, Mr. President.
First order of business.
Approval of the minutes of October 22nd, 2025.
All right, Councilmember McCosker moves. Councilmember Hutt seconds. What's next?
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
All right.
You can't do it yet. You have to wait until they actually announce it.
I think somebody's mic is on. All right. Councilmember Soto Martinez moves. Councilmember Blumenfeld seconds. Can we run through our agenda?
Yes, sir. Mr. President, would council like all items go forthwith today?
Without objection, that'll be the order.
Also, there is a request to continue item 5 to Wednesday, October 29, 2025.
Without objection, that'll be the order. What's next?
Item 1 through 4 are items which public hearings have been held. For item 4, the Transportation Committee and Budget and Finance Committee reports have been submitted for council consideration and is available online under Council File 25-1111. On the continuation agenda, item 5 is an item for which public hearing has been held. 10 votes are needed for consideration, sir.
All right, without objection, those items are now before us. Any specials, members? All right. Seeing no specials, Madam Clerk, what items are available for votes at this time?
Mr. President, council may now vote on items 1 through 4, sir.
All right, let's open the roll on those items. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Council may now go into presentation, sir.
All right, exciting morning of presentation as Fridays tend to be in our city council chambers. We'll begin with a very special presentation led by Councilmember Rodriguez of Council District 7. Along with Councilmember Hernandez of the 1st District.
I was going to say, I was like, you missed one. Well, thank you, colleagues. I am, yeah, take off your just. Yes, ma'am. So, good morning, colleagues, and everybody in the house today. It is, it's beautiful to kick off what is obviously a very special day of presentations. We've got a room full of good food champions, spiritual leaders, and youth leadership. And I am talking about I am so proud and delighted to join Councilmember Hernandez to honor this long overdue recognition for someone that I've had the tremendous privilege of benefiting from and learning from a very young age, at the age of 20, when I started here at City Hall. None other than the incredible Maryanne Hayashi. Please give her a round of applause. At 90 years young, we are still so fortunate to have this incredible woman here with us today. And I want to first take a moment to acknowledge the fan club, the Maryanne Hayashi fan club in the house. Please all stand up and be recognized. No, stand up. Everyone needs to know who showed up for Maryanne today. For more than 30 years, Maryanne has been a cornerstone of youth development in our city. Before there was a youth development department, before there was such a thing of strong youth leadership and advocacy, there were the pioneers that helped to create space for young people to have a voice, to be expressed, and to put them to be part of the leadership of the city. And, you know, previously, when I think of the there's the famous 3 tenors. I think about the famous 3 youth development leaders. I think of Maryanne Hayashi, Sandra Figueroa, and Olivia Mitchell. And these are women powerhouses that I had the incredible good fortune at a very young age when I started here at City Hall as a young staffer to learn from. They were part of the example and leadership that helped me understand how we needed to force and make space for young people in our city. And they have been part of the strong nurturing force of individuals that have helped to make an indelible mark for young people across our city. For over 3 decades, Maryanne Hayashi has served as the executive director of the Central City Action Committee. It was under her leadership that the CCAC has become a fundamental institution in community, supporting low-income children and creating critical opportunities for generations of local families. Throughout her career, Maryanne has worked tirelessly to secure funding, build partnerships, and advocate for resources that strengthen the CCAC's ability to serve at-risk youth. She has built programs that do more than serve, they transform. She helped young people find their voice, complete education, and discover their sense of purpose. Under her direction, youth mentorship programs expanded citywide, connecting thousands of teens with after-school enrichment, arts, and mental health resources. Her leadership has fostered strong relations between CCAC and local schools, law enforcement, and other community-based organizations, creating a network of support for the young people of Los Angeles. Her decades of service have not only improved the lives of those directly involved with Central City Action Committee, but have also contributed to the overall safety, stability, and vibrancy of the Angelino Heights neighborhood. You know, what I loved about Maryanne's story, I thought it was always really beautiful. When I met the woman, and the way she introduced herself was, I am a Croatian woman who married a Japanese man and settled in Chinatown. I mean, is that not inherently Los Angeles? And, right? And again, her very warm, open-hearted, and beautiful spirit is why I'm so glad that I'm a council member today to be able to recognize her and the contributions of so many just like her. Because it was for those individuals that saw more in me than at times I saw in myself that I stand here before you all today. And it is the greatest privilege of my life to be able to celebrate and tell their stories and to give them the recognition that they deserve. Because as young people continue to be under assault of having their resources stripped, even by our own city, it's because of the strength and fortitude of voices like Maryanne's that she has demonstrated the immense value of standing up for young people and giving them a chance and giving them a role in their local government. And for that, I'm always grateful and blessed to be a proud descendant of the example of leadership of Maryanne Hayashi and so many others. And so, Maryanne, I just want to say how much I love you, how much I'm grateful for you. All those early partnerships when I was in charge of Mike's holiday party, where you used to do all the youth arts and crafts programs, when we would bring 600 young people from across the district to Plaza de la Raza and gift them with a holiday celebration, the likes of which they had never experienced before. She was among those very critical partners that I got the opportunity to work with as a young staffer. And I'm just grateful to be here, to have the opportunity to say thank you and give you the recognition that you deserve. So please, ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Ms. Maryanne Hayashi. And at this time, thank you all so much. And at this time, I want to thank Councilmember Hernandez so much, because this means so much to me. And I want to thank you for partnering, allowing me to partner with you to give this recognition to Maryanne. I know how proud you are to represent the 1st District. and to know all the history and legacy of individuals that helped to create such important space for young people and have been transformative in our communities. So at this time, I'd like to invite the council member for the 1st Councilmanic District, Eunices Hernandez.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rodriguez, and thank you, Maryanne, for everything that you have done for us in the city. You know, colleagues, most days in these chambers, we debate policies and politics and programs and investments. That's a job. But then there's moments like this, moments where we have the privilege of correcting the record, of telling the true story of Los Angeles, the one about ordinary individuals doing the most extraordinary things, tending to our communities quietly and consistently. And this is Maryanne. Maryanne, as some of you know, grew up in Council District 1. Well, let me say this. Maryanne, I grew up in Council District 1. I've seen the pain caused by decades of neglect. And I learned a long time ago what you have always known, is that real solutions don't come from the top down, they come from the community up. For 45 years, you were doing the hard work that this city is only now recognizing as a true path to public safety. When people advocated for a new gang injunction in Echo Park, you were like, You had to clarify, to call it old school stuff, and say the community had moved beyond those tactics. You knew the answer wasn't more punishment. You knew that it was more connections and more opportunities. Maryanne, no matter the obstacles you saw in our city, you never ever gave up on making the world a better place. We're not talking about, and in this chamber, you know, we talk about policy wins, but Maryanne, your wins are walking around the city right now. Your wins have impacted generations in the city. They are the people photographed in the slides above, those who perform better in school because they got help with homework, those who were exposed to opportunities because you built a place for them. You set standards, demanded no bad language, and you provided the mentorship that held people together and that now holds families together all over this city. Maryanne, you have changed thousands of lives, and we all should take your life's work to heart. Today, I make a promise to you that Maryanne Hayashi Square will be a reminder to follow your lead, to invest in the community-based solutions that you have proven are the only things that truly work, that people now recognize that, yes, the only thing that can save someone oftentimes is a job. Your legacy will forever be a part of the landscape of Los Angeles. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for uplifting new solutions that we know keep people together, even though when everyone was telling you that that wasn't the way to go, because that opened the path for people like me to now to be able to fight for those things in City Hall, to make them permanent, to make them citywide, and to remind people here that we're talking about human beings that need love and care and support and opportunity. So thank you for everything, and thank you for opening up the path for people like me to walk behind you. And now I'll pass it to Councilwoman Rodriguez.
Thank you, Councilmember Hernandez. And thank you for collaborating on dedicating what will be rightfully known there in Angelino Heights as Maryanne Hayashi Square, right adjacent to the footprint of Central City Action Committee. And so that is going to be a welcome addition to Angelino Heights. And without any further ado, colleagues, the great Maryanne Hayashi.
Good morning. Is the microphone on?
Okay, good.
I've been before this council many times over the years, and today I'm really nervous. I've never been nervous before. Put it a little bit closer. Oh, I've never been nervous before, but I'm really touched this morning. Many years I've come before council. The only thing that made me nervous is the 2 or 3 minute I had to speak. And I'm wondering now, Council President, that I'm 90 years old, are you going to give me 3 or 4 minutes today?
You get all the minutes.
I get all the minutes. I'd like to thank Councilwoman Rodriguez. We go back a long time. She was a young, I'm going to tell the story on her and embarrass her a little bit. That's okay? Council leads like to hear a little story about a councilwoman. Whenever there was an activity in the community, she would organize it. She would probably be the first one there bringing the donuts. She would stay until all the tools. She came with tennis shoes. She made awards out, but she was always doing the hard labor and the work. And I remember after one activity, we had a wrap-up meeting with all the agencies that were involved, and the comments were, it went very well, and that young deputy, she's going to go places. Hello. Yeah. Thank you. And I'd like to thank our newest, youngest deputy, Councilman Hernandez, who in the last year has been such a help to our graffiti staff, recognized their hard work. And just so everyone knows, I think it was mentioned, I'm a resident and work in the 1st Council District. Our family moved to Los Angeles in 1949, and we settled, and I'm still there, in the Upper Alpine area. Yeah. And my sister and I, we went to Our Lady Queen of Angels School. We moved there because the church was there. St. Anthony's Croatian Catholic Church, which is still there, was established in 1910. It's still there serving the community and serving the Croatian community. My sister and I, my sister's here today, we went to Our Lady Queen of Angels High School and graduated from the Placita Vera. My brother graduated from Cathedral. My family, my cuñada, who's here today, and my brother had the Boy Scouts in Chinatown for years. We were on the board and worked at Alpine Rec Center, so my sister worked in a little store there all through high school. So, Councilwoman, if you need to know anything about the history, we could help you with that.
Thank you, yes, thank you.
I started in 1956. In 1956, I started to work for the CYO, the Catholic Youth Organization, and they had settlement houses all through Los Angeles. My first assignment was El Santo Niño, located at 21st and Trinity, and I worked there for about a year and a half, and then after that I was assigned to Watts Community House, and that was on 103rd and Juniper. And then after that, I was there about 5 years. And then for 11 years, I worked for the famous Team Post program. And we had Team Posts all over the city and the county, mostly in the housing projects, the Nickerson Gardens, Jordan Downs, Ramona Gardens, Aliso Village. And I did 11 years there, and then since 1981, wow, that's putting me way up there, over 45 years. Since 1981, I've been the executive director of Central City Action Committee.
Yes.
And, you know, I've kind of, taking this award, there's no way this award belongs to me alone. There would be no recognition without the fantastic Central City Action Committee staff who are in the center, who are here today, David Bermudez, the graffiti staff, all our board members, our youth participants. They've showed people what hard work and dedication can do. And there's no way I could have made it all these years without that. And a special thanks to my family I have here today, my immediate family, my 2 daughters, my son-in-laws, my granddaughter, my great-grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cuñada is here, my compadres, my Hawaii family, my center family. And when I looked around today, every person here has given back to the community. Back in the seats there are people who've been with me for many years. They're all community activists. They all have helped in some way or another. And I really thank my family and all the center family. There's no way I could be getting this award today. I mean, I put these people through, they stood by me for all kinds of activities, and You know, I just a few. We have people in this audience who woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to pass out water for the Chinatown 10K run. Mothers who spend 8 hours in high humidity making flowers lace for the Lotus Festival. There's people back there who've been tutors, mentors. They've given physically and monetarily. I have my sisters here, and she looks like me, so she said if I couldn't make it today, she would have put in for us. So what I'm really saying is this award is not just for me. This is for the entire group and family that I have that have helped me participate in this. So thank you so much.
You did your time. Good job. You made time. This is great. Well, thank you so much, colleagues. Thank you, Councilmember Hernandez. And I think we'll go in the front and join you, Maryanne, because we have a resolution here on behalf of the Los Angeles City Council. You know, it's been one of the greatest privileges of my life to be able to call on you, not just as a friend, but as a mentor and the example of how I approach my work every day. And I want to thank you for not just being that example to me, but to so many other lives that you've touched. You've really changed this city for the better. And for that, on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen, please help me join Councilmember Hernandez and I in thanking and celebrating the great Maryanne Hayashi.
Thank you so much, Council Members Rodriguez and Hernandez. Second, our presentation will be led by Councilmember Jurado of the 14th Council District.
Okay. Mabuhay! It's still Filipino-American History Month. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Councilmember Isabel Jurado, taga Highland Park. Yung nanay ko ay taga Nagcarlan, Laguna, at yung tatay ko ay taga Iligan. Bisaya po siya, hindi ako. So, good morning. My name is Councilmember Isabel Jurado. It is my deep honor to celebrate FAM Part 2 in City Council, and it's my deep honor to recognize an artist whose work has transcended continents, communities, and generations. The incomparable rapper, spoken word artist, filmmaker, multi-hyphenate, Ruby Ibara. Ruby was born in Tacloban, Leyte, and raised in the Bay Area, and like so many of us who carry multiple homelands in our heart, she learned early that identity is not just something you inherit, it's something you shape and you claim. Through her music, her poetry, and her filmmaking, Ruby has built a body of work that tells the story of who Filipinos are, not as a monolith, but as people who are layered, multilingual, diasporic, and proud. Her songs uplift the experience of women, immigrants, workers, and all those who have had to fight to be seen. And she does it while rapping in English, Tagalog, and Waray, and refusing the idea that we must dilute any part of ourselves to belong. And right now, we need people like her to keep doing what they're doing, because that alone, just being yourselves and not diluting it, is revolutionary. And this year, you may recognize her because, yes, this Ruby won the NPR Tiny Desk concert. It was poetic, it's moving, you definitely should watch it. We don't have time to put the film up, but y'all roll the tapes when you can. But beyond those accolades, there's the impact. When Ruby performs, young Filipinos recognize themselves. I remember going to a concert, bringing back the jacket, to give to my own daughter that says, Island Woman Rise. And that's something that she takes with her to know that Filipinas have always been part of the movement. We've been here, we stay here, and we are here today. And when she stands on stage, she puts her 10 toes down. Communities long pushed to the margins hear their lives echoed back with strength, pride, and joy. And so, colleagues, please join me in welcoming Ruby Ibara.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you, Councilmember Jurado. It is an incredible honor to be here at Los Angeles City Hall, especially during Filipino American History Month. To be recognized is something that I carry with deep gratitude and responsibility. I stand here as a proud Filipino American artist, shaped by the stories and sacrifices of the generations before me. And today, this morning specifically, I think of my mom, who immigrated to this country with the hope that she and I could dream without limits. I think of my mother, who showed me the strength and resilience that defines so many of our Panay leaders, like Councilmember Jurado. I think of my daughter, who reminds me every day of the importance of representation and the legacy we build for the next generation. Becoming a new mother this past year has made this moment even more meaningful, because everything I do now is rooted in a vision of a more empowered future. My work as a songwriter and performer has always been tied to the community. The music I create is a reflection of our journey as Filipino Americans. It's a celebration of identity, of womanhood, of resistance, and the joy and struggle that come growing up between two cultures. I want young Filipinos to know that their voices matter. Their personal stories deserve to be told, and their art has a power to move people and reshape the world around them. Before I became a full-time musician 4 years ago, I worked as a biotech scientist. My path has never been traditional, and that is exactly why I hope others feel encouraged to design a life that feels true to who they are. We all deserve the autonomy to define our own success and to build careers that honor both our passions and our communities. I am also grateful for the creative collaborations that continue to uplift Filipino artists. Through Bolo Music Group, the independent record label I co-founded, we aim to build a home for Filipino-American musicians and expand our presence across the industry. And through Panay's Rising Scholarship Program, we support Filipinas in higher education and activism who are already doing the transformative work of storytelling and leadership. This recognition today is not mine alone. This is for my team, my collaborators, and kapwa in the Filipino community who have supported me along the way. This is for the organizers, the mentors, the educators, and every person here who continue to make sure our contributions are not erased. As a first-generation Filipino American, I think about this past year specifically and how it's brought a lot of challenges to our immigrant community. And we continue to fight and speak up for the voiceless. But as we celebrate Filipino American History Month this month of October, I also think about how important and necessary it is to also carve space for the joy in the midst of the struggle, to remind us of the love in the struggle, why we do what we do, why this work is necessary, and that is why I am honored to celebrate with my community. Thank you to the City of Los Angeles for elevating our voices and honoring our history. Filipino Americans have always been leaders, innovators, and storytellers. We are not only shaping culture, we are shaping the future. My hope is that the work I do sparks conversation, creates pride, and a greater belief in what is possible when we empower each other. Maraming salamat, daghang salamat, damo nga salamat, and happy Filipino American History Month.
That's awesome. Okay, so on behalf of the Los Angeles City Council, it is my deep honor in celebration of Filipino American History Month to present you with a certificate recognizing your artistic leadership and your cultural impact and your continued work to empower our communities. In the spirit of kapwa, this certificate really means I am because you are, and you are because I am. So thank you so much.
Councilman, we have a few members on the queue when you're ready.
Go ahead, Council President.
Okay, we'll start with Councilmember Soto Martinez, followed by Councilwoman Rahman.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Well, I want to say thank you, Councilwoman Jurado, for bringing Ruby into this beautiful building. You know, when I first heard you were bringing her in, of course, I was reminded of that tiny desk. That I love Tiny Desk. I love your performance on there. And I was very happy that you won, and that was incredible. I think you did like a 7-city tour, a 10-city tour, and you were here in Los Angeles at the Regent Theater. I was really disappointed I couldn't see you at that time, but lo and behold, you are here in City Hall, and so it makes me really happy to have you here. And you know, I think you hit the nail on the head. Representation matters, opening doors matter, and I think you're really breaking the paradigm, you know, of what we can do in this country. We continue to uplift our culture. And I know for my constituents, I represent a historic Filipino town. I'm sure they're all very proud, and many of them are here today to see you here being recognized. And so thank you so much for coming in here. Keep doing what you're doing. Just FYI, we have this really great event every year called Barrio Hi-Fi, where we have tens of thousands of people. Filipinos come from all over. Be great to have you there perform if you want. We would love, I think, I'll speak for Jennifer Taylor. I think she would love to have you, and also for Councilwoman Jurado. But thank you again, and mabuhay, and happy Historic Filipino American Month. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Rahman, followed by Harris Dawson.
Councilmember Jurado, thank you so much for bringing the celebration into City Hall. Ruby, I've followed your career, I've heard your music. We're just really excited to have you here. And thank you to the Councilwoman for bringing you here, for honoring your contribution to history, making history in America, which is really exciting. And I just want to say, you know, seeing your performance, I remember when I was young, and this is really dating me, but I saw Tony Canal in No Doubt. And he was the first South Asian person I had seen in pop music. And I was so excited. It felt totally revelatory to me. And I just imagine the thousands of Filipino young people who are seeing you and seeing them represented across the country, and just like that meaningful moment that you have of recognition, of representation, and of incredible talent together are just so powerful. So thank you for being here, and thank you, Councilwoman. Happy Filipino Heritage Month.
Council President Harris Dawson.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and thank you, Councilmember Jurado, for bringing this great presentation and bringing one of our local heroes here to City Hall to be recognized in the People's House. I want to just appreciate you, Ruby, because you represent LA well. You represent Filipinos well, you represent women well, but you represent LA so well in the music scene, and your work is top-notch and has been high quality. I was excited to find out that you were some type of scientist, because it comes across in your lyrics. To use the common parlance, everybody, she has bars. So when you tune in, you'll get a treat if you haven't heard her music. And thank you so much for everything you have done in representing us so well.
Great. And back to Councilwoman Jurado to close.
Well, thank you so much for making our Filipino identity not just visible, but making sure that we are powerful. And thank you so much, and congratulations, Ruby. Thank you, Council President.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, we have our next presentation will be led by our Council President, Marquis Harris Dawson, is going to make his way to the podium as the folks there are starting to clear out and head to the back. We have 4 amazing presentations today. We're very fortunate. Mr. Harris Dawson, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and members and community members in our gallery today. Today, we're very excited, as we've done for several years here in Los Angeles City Hall and in this City Council, to officially recognize National Clergy Appreciation Month. That's right, give it up for our members of the clergy. It's a time for us to uplift our rabbis, our pastors, our priests, imams, nuns, and all other members of the clergy. We are very excited every time this celebration happens because we get to host a variety of faith leaders from around our city, from the southern tip to the northern end, from the coast to the east side. Before I get going, I want to see if we can get all the members of the clergy or their supporters to stand up in the chamber, just so we can get one big recognition of them right away, straight away. Throughout our history, they've responded to some of the world's most pressing issues. That is true for us today in the city of Los Angeles as we face homelessness, disease, poverty, and now this year, the ongoing ICE raids that our churches and temples and cathedrals play a very, very important role in helping this city stand up to this onslaught. We in this city are so lucky. We have nearly 15,000 religious organizations in our city. They employ about 10,000 people. So it's very important that we take the opportunity to recognize them, as they do so much to make us a livable city and a place that aspires to the greatness that we all deserve. In my district, we have many opportunities to work with the faith community on a variety of issues, some of which you'll hear about later. Each member of the council will recognize a member of the clergy. Some members who are not present today they have members of the clergy here as well that we'll hear from. But before we do that, I want to turn the mic over for a minute to our resident clergyman in the city of Los Angeles, one of our favorite general managers who plays the role of leading the city during the week. But on Sunday, you can find him right there on the northeast corner of Arlington and 48th in the pulpit leading his congregation in our community, the one and only John Reamer.
Council President, you're too kind. Thank you very much. Honorable council members, city attorney, and all of the city family, and the distinguished honorees. Thank you for this moment, for recognizing what God is doing. I love stories, and I just asked, what story should I speak to with respect to the many individuals that I look to with respect to the role that the Lord has given me. Do I talk about Daniel? Do I talk about Mordecai? Do I talk about Esther? Do I talk about Shadrach or Meshach or Abednego? Do I talk about them? They all occupied, I can only imagine their being in halls like this as the Lord used them. But there's this young man who was loved. His father loved him deeply, which could have been a little challenging for the brothers who didn't quite care for that. They were envious. Not only were they envious, quite frankly, they hated their brother because he had daddy's love. That hatred moved to the place where they sold him into slavery. But he was not alone. In the midst of going into slavery in a foreign land, a place that he had not been before, God gave him favor, allowed him to move up and have access in the environment that he was in and make decisions and give influence. But somebody lied on him. He went back into confinement, but he was not alone. In the midst of being in a confined environment, he had favor again to be able to help those who needed help. Can you imagine those coming to you for assistance, having problems of their own, reaching out and not being able to find an answer? And here's this person here, not like me, not from my environment or my community, but he has something special. And he did. But one thing he never forgot was who he was and where he was from. And his response to those who came to him was, am I the one to give this answer, or should it come from God? And in the midst of helping those, he asked, don't forget about me. How many of us in this room, those who've been called into an elected office or those who've been called to serve, you've been forgotten about? You've done so much for so many, and yet when it was your turn, you were forgotten about. Not for 1 year, but for 2 years, he languished in a confined space. And yet, another issue came up, a troubling issue for the ultimate leader, the high boss, if you will, the highest elected, if you will, in the land, that no one could solve, no one could fix. But the person remembered who had helped him. And he said, I know a man who's in jail who can help you. And he did. And his answer was, in response to this troubling, as the council president alluded to, the budget that we just had, ICE has just been here. We can go on and on and on and on and on with respect to issues in LA. He said, this answer will come from God, and God will give you peace. You can ask these people behind me for the rest of the story. My father gave me some advice, God rest his soul, when I went into ministry, and I asked him, what do I tell people who clearly know more than I do? They've been around, they've seen it, they've done it. I was amazed by the honoree that was just before us. And he said, John, yours is just simply to remind them. Remind them, first of all, to respect. Respect the fact that unless God builds a house, those who labor, labor in vain. And unless God watches over the city, it really doesn't matter how big LAPD might be. The watchmen stay up at night in vain. Remind them that they have to respect. And not just respect, but they have to also understand their reason. Why are we here? Why are each and every one of us in the locations and in the roles that we have? We could say we ran for office and people voted for us. You could say that. We could say that, you know what, I spoke the best in the congregation and the people remembered me. But I love the fact that a person who was in jail for 16 years became the number 2 person in all of the highest land because God gave him favor. And not only did he come number 2, but he saved a land and he reunited a family because he was at the right place at the right time, communicating the right message to those who needed to hear it. Those behind me, that's what they do. That's what each and every one of you do. And then the last thing my father told me was remind them of their relationships. The first and foremost being with their Creator, the one who created them. And the second being those whom they've been charged to serve. Serve them well. Because not only are we supposed to love God with all that we have, but we're supposed to love our who? Our neighbors. That's right, brothers and sisters. Our neighbors as ourselves. So on this day where we, and I'm proud of the city for acknowledging clergy, on this day that we acknowledge that we can't do this without God, because without God we can do nothing. I'm honored to be here and say, continue to remember, it's not about the crowd, it's about the calling. It's about the one who called you to serve in whatever capacity you're in and serve to his glory. Thank you.
Reverend General Manager Raymer. Another round of applause for him, please, please, please. So, as is our custom, we'll hear from each council district. We'll go in numerical order, and they will recognize. We'll try to limit it to one member of the clergy, even though all of us have a lot, dozens and dozens in each of our districts. And we'll begin with our city attorney, Heidi Felstein-Soto.
Thank you, and good morning, honorable members and community. I am very proud here today to be here with the Associate Rabbi, Rebecca Schatz from my shul, Temple Beth Am on La Cienega. Rabbi Schatz, since she became the Associate Rabbi in 2019, has exemplified the very best of our young Jewish rabbis across the city. She has taken to the mission. I was very touched by what you said, sir. When a young person comes into a clergy, what do I say to those who are older? What I can tell you is from the first sermon that I heard Rabbi Schatz open her mouth, she spoke to me and she taught me something. Beth Am means house of the people. It means a commitment to serving the entire community. Rabbi Schatz leads her services joyously from the heart, from the Jewish values of inclusion, non-judgmental building bridges and not walls, and really living our daily lives and our daily values in everything we do and touch. There is a Jewish principle of tikkun olam, which many of you may have heard of, which means heal the world. Rabbi Rebecca Schatz does that every single day of her life. And so it is my privilege and my honor to present Rabbi Rebecca Schatz with a certificate from my office in recognition of her service to Los Angeles. Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Thank you so much. That's good. Thank you so much to our city attorney. And now we'll go to Council District 1.
President, thank you, colleagues, and to our guests and to all our faith leaders who have joined us today. And as we can see, there are many phenomenal faith leaders walking around our city. And in Council District 1, we are blessed to have many as well. But today I want to uplift one of them. Someone whose heart and service embodies what it means to live your faith, but also someone who has had an incredible and tremendous impact on me in the very short time that I have known him. Father Mario Torres, pastor of St. Thomas the Apostle Catholic Church in Pico Union, is here with us today. Father, please come here. Sir, Father Mario's journey is deeply rooted in our community story. As a son of immigrants, he carries gratitude for his heritage, answered the call at a young age to serve, and studied in the seminary. In a beautiful full circle moment, he first served as a seminarian at St. Thomas, the very church he now leads. And for the past 20 years, Father Mario has devoted his life to serving immigrant and working families in Huntington Park, Lincoln Heights, and now Pico Union. Wherever he goes, he brings compassion, humility, and faith. He has said, serving immigrants and the poor has been a great blessing to my priesthood. You feel that blessing each and every time he opens the church doors, walks through the neighborhood, or prays someone who's in need. And Father Mario, I don't think you know this, but I watch your misas on Instagram. And I do it because sometimes I can't get to church. And so you all make it incredibly accessible, and I watch it because these times have been incredibly difficult. But I want to tell everybody, the moment that really impacted me is in the beginning of the raids, I was watching one of your masses, and you said something to the effect of, if I want you all to keep coming to church, and if you all are scared, don't be scared, because if they're going to get to you, they got to get through me first. And when you said that, for me, it was so profound. Like what you were willing to do for your church that is always like this, always filled to the brim. And so your bravery, it really helped me in the beginning when the raids were happening. It gave me strength to be like, you know what? If Father Mario's going to throw down, I'm going to throw down just as hard. And so I thank you. I thank you for your bravery, your compassion, your leadership, and thank you for being here today and for leading by example. And I just am eternally grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, next we'll hear from Council District 2.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you for putting this event. Thank you to all my colleagues. Thank you to all the honorees also for not only being here to be recognized, but being recognized for the work that you do on a daily basis, especially in very difficult circumstances as times like this. My honoree, Father Luis Kenzierski, unfortunately couldn't be here because he's recovering. So I will let him know that we're all wishing him a speedy recovery. But I wanted to, regardless of his circumstance, I wanted to recognize him because his church, Our Lady of Holy Rosary, has become a beacon of safety and support in our community. As the torrent of the ongoing raids has created this tremendous anxiety among immigrant families across the San Fernando Valley, Father Kenzierski and his parish have met this moment with compassion action, and hope. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about some of the things that Our Lady of the Holy Rosary has accomplished. In a very brief period of time, they organized workshops partnering with CHIRLA, ensuring not only DACA and young dreamers have access to accurate information, but the community and all to have access to legal support and to have a sense of protection as they navigate their uncertain future. Collaborate with Hermandad Mexicana, helping families to stay safe and informed to prevent panic and ensure that legal rights are understood and exercised. Organized a multicultural mass bringing together parishioners of all backgrounds for a night of prayer and unity dedicated to families who have been targeted or separated. Partnered with LA Voice to hold workshops on immigrant rights. The list goes on and on and on. And that's not, I haven't even touched on the resources of food insecurity, support for individuals who are not going to work, or anything else that comes with the anxiety of today. So I am deeply humbled to have the opportunity to represent individuals like this who may not be at pulpits or locations like dioceses like ours, but have their command and their ability to lead their constituents and to give them the most invaluable thing that any one of us can give, hope. Hope and opportunity. So while he is not here, I'm going to be making sure to take this certificate on behalf of all of us to him so that he knows and his parishioners know what they all mean to us. Thank you for this opportunity again.
You guys can stand up. Stand up, join me. Council President, thank you so much for bringing this presentation honoring clergy like you have in the years past. It's always so inspiring, and I so appreciate it to all of these people of great faith who are leading in difficult times and are here today to be honored. So thank you all for doing that. So today I am delighted to honor Keith Allen and Maryanne Hinston from Purpose LA Church in Canoga Park. Purpose LA functions primarily as a church, but it's also known as Purpose Place LA, offering weekly workshop services and community-oriented programs in Canoga Park. Purpose LA's mission centers on fostering connection and growth. Their guiding statements are, family gathers, family meet, roots grow. They aim to connect people to purpose, family, and community and describe their environment as welcoming, judgment-free, and inclusive. An atmosphere where, quote, family is the vibe. I've had the tremendous privilege of partnering with them on a number of different community events and occasions. And they host back-to-school resource fairs, providing shoes, backpacks, school supplies, haircuts, and free food, and free Christmas shopping experiences with brand new toys and clothes for folks who need it. They have a bi-monthly food box giveaway called Purpose Pantry. They have tremendous energy, and they do so much. If you think Purpose LA as a church and organization is great, I want you to meet the two incredible people standing beside me who are guiding its mission and the work that they do in our community. Pastors Keith Allen and Maryanne Hinston are the lead pastors of Purpose LA. Not only that, they met each other in 2002 and married in 2012. And today is Maryanne's birthday, so happy birthday as well. She chose to celebrate her birthday with us today. They have backgrounds in hosting and acting and law, respectively, and they followed God's calling to open Time to Dance, which is a dance studio and multi-purpose venue in Woodland Hills. They also have served for 10 years at a church in North Hollywood, beginning as youth pastors and then later becoming associate pastors. It is such an honor to have you both in the district, spreading the good word and doing all of the great work that you do, transforming lives on a daily basis. So thank you all for being here, and congratulations on being named. I want to present you with a certificate, not just from me, but from everyone here, all of the city council members. Please accept this small token of appreciation.
Council District 4.
Okay, thank you so much. Today, it is with great joy that I uplift Council District 4's honoree for Clergy Appreciation Month, Jane Poole, who's the Youth Minister Emeritus for the Church of the Chimes. For nearly a quarter century, Jane Poole has been a steady, joyful presence at Church of the Chimes, a source of guidance, warmth, and faith for generations of families. Originally a New Yorker, Jane first came to California for love. She met her husband at a commercial shoot. It was through her daughter's preschool that Jane discovered Church of the Chimes, and what began as a school connection quickly became something far deeper. The church became part of her home. Over the next 24 years, she raised her children there, she grew her friendships there, and she devoted herself to helping others find the same sense of belonging that she had found. Throughout her time at the church, Jane served in many roles, each with the same generosity of spirit and tireless devotion. But her greatest joy was in working with young people. As youth minister, she built a ministry, and I've met some of these young people, and they are remarkable. She built a ministry grounded in empathy, curiosity, and joy. Her approach was simple but profound. She met kids where they were. She reminded them that they mattered, and she showed them that faith is something you live, not just something you speak. When she retired, the celebration was a living reflection of her impact. The event was filled with faces who had once sat in her youth group and learned from her, and seeing multiple generations gathered together, Jane said it gave her so much hope. Hope that these young people, now adults, would carry forward the same work of compassion, service, and faith that guided her own life. It has been my personal privilege to represent the Church of the Chimes in Council District 4, and I've spent several joyous occasions with them, including at Christmas when we light the enormous tree in partnership with the fire department, as well as what is now an annual event, their Martin Luther King Day Jr. event, where the entire community is invited to take a seat at the table. And it is a celebration of Dr. King's work, life, and message, and I've never left that event without feeling moved. For Jane and so many in Council District 4, Church of the Chimes isn't just a place of worship, it's family, and it is Jane's work that has made it so. So please give a round of applause for Jane Poole. Beautiful person, Jane, really.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Rahman. I will be presenting on behalf of our colleague, Councilwoman Katie Yaroslavsky, who couldn't be with us today. The Council District 5 honoree is one Rabbi Joseph Kanevsky. Rabbi Kanevsky is about to celebrate 30 years at B'nai David Judea congregation in the Pico Robertson neighborhood. Under his leadership, this synagogue has become one of the most dynamic and respected modern Orthodox congregations in the entire United States. The rabbi nurtures a spirit of warmth and inclusivity and teaches the love of God, compassion, and justice. The doors are open to all, regardless of race, age, gender, sexual orientation, or physical ability. The rabbi has led the way for an enhanced role for women in leadership, guiding the congregation in hiring the first female Orthodox clergy member in the history of this city. He helps create a better world every day through his commitment to Tikkun Olam, repairing the earth. The rabbi leads regular outreach to the homeless community, inviting them to the synagogue for lunch, song, and conversation, not just food, which we can hand out food, a vending machine can hand out food, but only human beings can serve a meal and build a relationship around that meal. He's been an advocate for those struggling with mental illness and led the way in renovating the synagogue to make sure it was accessible to everyone with disabilities. He is a respected leader throughout our city and a leader in interfaith dialogue, even when it's difficult to sit around the table and find common ground. He continues to reach out and build bridges no matter how deep the divide seem. His congregants, fellow community leaders, and friends all admire his love of learning, empathy, and desire to make our world a better place. Today, Council District 5
the city of Los Angeles is honored to recognize Rabbi Joseph Kanefsky as one of Los Angeles' most esteemed spiritual leaders, community activists, and thoughtful teachers. Congratulations, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi. I'm also standing in for Council District 6. Council Member Padilla, who couldn't be with us this morning. Come on up, Reverend. Today, it's our honor on behalf of Council District 6 to recognize Pastor Ryan Donnelly of the Osborne Neighborhood Church. He is a leader whose faith, compassion, and service has made a lasting impact right here in the San Fernando Valley. The Council District 6 Councilwoman is proud to honor Pastor Ryan for his leadership and devotion not only to his faith, but to serving and uplifting his neighbors, especially those most in need. I had the pleasure of meeting Pastor this morning for a few minutes, and I heard the story about the 75-year-old church who's only had 3 pastors, and you're the 3rd pastor, and you grew up in this congregation and serve it as a reflection of it. And you do the work to make sure the church continues, but also that the church plays a role in the neighborhood, and it touches people who belong to the church, but also who don't belong to the church. And I note that the church now is houses the neighborhood council meetings and has played a role in our community throughout COVID, throughout homelessness, and all the things that the city has faced. Earlier this year, when there were fires, you opened up your church for the people in Eaton Canyon and the Palisades and the San Fernando Valley to host resource events along with the council district and the city, as well as just to touch and have relationships with people. And so on behalf of Council District 6, we're very, very proud to honor Pastor Ryan Donnelly. All right, Council District 7.
Thank you, Mr. Harris-Dawson. And first, let me gush over Reverend Reamer for a second, because you always do such a remarkable job of really setting the stage. John, I'm always so proud that you were part of the city leadership and family, and so I just want to thank you so much. And I'm also delighted to take a moment to recognize, we're so fortunate that we have such a diverse audience here today to really be witness to all of the multiple celebrations of the individuals that we're honoring today, because I think it's really important that young people in particular get to see all the contributions. It's not just the elected leaders, but it's all the contributions of our spiritual leaders, of the different neighborhood organizations and activists that are involved in helping to make our city function and run and serve the needs of the people. So I want to recognize the students from Vinedale College Preparatory Academy who are visiting us today in the back here at City Hall. We're joined by a group of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students here to learn about civic engagement. So welcome, and I want to thank, of course, their principal, Alicia Bernal, and the dedicated staff and chaperones, Michelle Harlow and Kwan and Pearson, for organizing the event. You're witnessing today not only the incredible dedicated community leaders that are here, but of course, the members of our clergy that are helping to make sure that our communities are healed and strong and prepared to endure some of the most challenging issues that confront us. So welcome, Vinedale. Thank you for being here today. And now it is my great honor to recognize the clergy member from the 7th District, Reverend Zadar Broadus, who is not just part of the incredible, long-standing history from the community of Pacoima, but a dear friend and someone that I'm so grateful to have with me in chambers today. Reverend Broadus is a U.S. Navy veteran who in 1990 was ordained as a Baptist minister at Calvary Mission Baptist Church in Pacoima, which was founded by his parents. He has been a dedicated leader in the community for over 50 years. Following in his father's footsteps, he entered the ministry and became a strong voice for change. He carries the legacy of faith, advocacy with pride. The Broadus family is no stranger to these chambers, nor to the history of not only the city of Los Angeles, but clearly deeply rooted in Pacoima, and is a testimony to their enduring commitment to uplifting our communities. Reverend Broadus's impact extends far beyond the walls of the church. He has served as the president of the NAACP Pacoima chapter, as well as several Black communities and boards. Additionally, he formed the San Fernando Valley Juneteenth Committee to promote, among other things, the development of the National Juneteenth Museum in Fort Worth, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, my distinguished honoree, Reverend Zadar Broadus.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Rodriguez and the legendary Reverend Broadus. All right. Our Council District 8 honoree is someone who is an extraordinary leader in our community, the one Reverend Dr. Gentry R. Atkins IV. Let's give him a big round of applause. He's here. We clearly has a big following. We call him, in the neighborhood, we call him Reverend Dr. G. He grew up in and is a product of our community, faced all the things that we face in South Los Angeles, and has a congregation at one of our most difficult intersections. Reverend Dr. G, again, grew up in our community, pursued higher education. He earned a bachelor's degree in sociology and a master's degree in public administration and a doctorate degree, all from the University of Southern California, USC. Go ahead, USC people. Those fingers in the air. People, yes. And in 2004, he devoted his life to serving the people of South Los Angeles and the Figueroa Corridor, becoming the executive pastor of Faithful St. Mark Church there on Figueroa. What I'll say about this congregation and this pastor, I said earlier, this is one of our toughest intersections anywhere in the city of Los Angeles. It is a place of our community safety partnership, but anybody who knows Figueroa knows that it's one of the things Los Angeles is infamous for, and that is the open, very public trafficking of young people for sex work. And as a council office, you get a lot of people who call and complain. You get a lot of people who call and are very angry with you or the council office or the police department or the pimps or the sex workers themselves, or the customers. But then you get the people who call and say, we see this happening, how can we help? And we've got a church here, we're gonna open the doors, we're gonna work with the task force that our city attorney set up in the very early years, Project FIG, to work with service providers, law enforcement, and community to confront this problem, but also deal with the human beings that are caught up in the middle of it. Recognizing that if we can just see their humanity and build a relationship with them, that's a long-term solution to the problem in front of us, as opposed to a short-term solution of shipping the person out to another place or another side of town. And so on behalf of Council District 8, Reverend, we're proud to honor you for Clergy Appreciation Month on behalf of the people of the 8th District. All right, Council District 10. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to uplift our clergy leaders, and also thank you for bringing John Reamer to the mic to set the tone for a day that we need to remember about hope and respect. I really appreciate that. Today, in this moment, I'm recognizing Pastor Julian and Christine Lowe of Oasis Church of Los Angeles for their incredible impact on the city and beyond. Just to prove the point, they had an emergency and went to go help someone else, so they're not with me today.
The real work.
But their leadership reflects a modern, authentic, and faith-filled approach, reaching people where they are and helping them grow in purpose and relationship to faith. It has a relatively large young people congregation that you don't see too much. I think it has to do with the fact that you could bring your coffee into the pews and sit down and drink coffee and listen to the sermon. Under their guidance, they continue to be a beacon of light in Los Angeles. They bring faith to life in a relevant and transformative way. Through outreach, mentorship, worship, and teaching, the church has impacted countless lives in the city and online. Pastor Julian and Christina have led with humility, authenticity, and grace, reminding us that ministry is not about perfection, but about faithful service. So today, I want to say a heartfelt thank you to Pastor Julian and Christina and the whole Oasis Church LA team for their tireless work, their prayers of vision, and their unwavering belief in people. Thank you.
Council District 11.
Thank you, Council President. It is really just an incredible opportunity to do these acknowledgements this morning. So thank you so much for leading this effort. Here in Council District 11, it's an incredible honor to be joined by Pastor Matthew Harden and his wife, Mary. Reverend Matthew graduated from George Mason University in 1999 with a degree in philosophy. He then worked for a couple of years at the U.S. Customs Service in Washington, D.C. before attending Columbia Theological Seminary in Decatur, Georgia. He was ordained in the PCUSA in 2004, and he's currently pursuing his doctorate of ministry degree. Pastor Matt served congregations in North Carolina and Tokyo before serving as an associate pastor at Westwood Presbyterian Church. He joined Pacific Palisades Presbyterian in January of 2021. At that time, the community was still weathering the pandemic, but Pastor Matt took the helm with faith and determination, bringing new leadership and vision to the family at Pali Pres. When the Palisades fire tore through our hillsides in January, we lost so much more than homes. We lost our sacred spaces that held our stories, our prayers, our celebrations, and our grief. And for Pastor Matt, that loss was deeply personal. His church, Pali Pres, the heart of his ministry, was reduced to ashes. But as we know, faith isn't measured by what we build with our hands. It's measured by what we carry in our hearts and by what we give to others, even when we've lost so much ourselves. In the days after the fire, when the community was trying to find its footing, Pastor Matt didn't retreat. He stepped up. He helped organize donations and resources for the displaced, and he prayed with the dozens of families in his own congregation who lost everything. Shortly after the fires, Pali Pres resumed services at Culver City Presbyterian and is currently sharing a home with Brentwood Presbyterian. Pastor Matt reminds us every day that a true church is not made of wood and stone. It's made of people bound together by love, compassion, and faith. Pastor Matt and his wife Mary and their leadership continue to guide and uplift our community as they serve on the front lines of our recovery, rebuilding their own church. And they both continue to serve as inspirations to me personally. So on behalf of CD11 and the City of Los Angeles, it's an honor to thank and acknowledge Pastor Matt for his faith in us, for his service to others, and for his extraordinary example of what it means to lead with grace. Thank you. And congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you so much, Council President, for creating the space where we can uplift the spiritual leaders in our districts. It is an honor to recognize a person, not only do I admire them, but I consider a friend. For today's Clergy Appreciation Month presentation, I'd like to present Reverend Jamie Edwards Acton of St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Hollywood. St. Stephen's is a unique and vibrant church rooted in community. Founded in 1904, this is a church that embraces diversity, affirms all identities, and practices radical hospitality. Reverend Edwards Acton has been the Reverend at St. Stephen's for over a decade, building it into a thriving ministry in Hollywood. More comfortable in jeans and Doc Martens than dress slacks and loafers, something we share very similarly, as we know. He approaches the story of Jesus as a way to share insight and start conversation. After each sermon, parishioners are encouraged to respond, share interpretations, and engage in meaningful discussion, making St. Stephen's a truly engaged and inclusive community. I've known Reverend Jamie for many years. In fact, we first met during a campaign in 2019 after the images of kids in cages came out and was widely publicized. Many spiritual leaders, folks in the community and labor said that we need to do something about this. And so what we did, we walked into an Amazon retail store, asked Alexa to play Rage Against the Machine, and we sat down and we all got arrested, putting our lives on the line in the nonviolent direct action that Reverend James Lawson and so many other spiritual leaders have taught us. I'll show you the pictures later. Those are great photos. So Reverend Jamie has demonstrated that he's dedicated to the community, not just at St. Stephen's, but all around Los Angeles and this country. He has fought and continues to fight for immigrants, for the working class, and for anybody who has been marginalized by our society, because we understand, many of us understand, that the spiritual practice can't be kept inside the walls of the church. We need to go out into the streets and to the people. He is a true man of God in that he fights for the people and he stands up for what's right, no matter what difficulties may bring. So thank you, Reverend Jamie, for everything that you do. And thank you, Council President, and everyone else who's been recognized today. It is an honor to have you here today. And on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, we want to give you this recognition. Thank you.
Council District 14.
Thank you, Council President. Today, I'm proud to recognize LA Voice for its commitment to justice, passion, and community power across Los Angeles. We welcome Reverend Wendell here, who's here on their behalf. Also, Reverend Hoover, my neighbor, couldn't make it here today. LA Voice is a multi-faith, multiracial organization that believes that dignity belongs to everyone and that every family deserves safety, belonging, and peace. They pray with us, they organize with us, and stand with our communities when it matters most. In recent months, as ICE raids brought fear and harm into our neighborhoods, clergy and congregations across Los Angeles have gathered shoulder to shoulder in interfaith prayer vigils organized by LA Voice. Faith leaders have come together to form circles of protection around immigrant families. They'll have had candles, sung songs of hope, spoken the names of those detained, and left flowers on the steps of the federal courthouse. They've made public what happens what happens far too often in silence. The heartbreak, the separation, the struggle for dignity. To LA Voice, thank you for organizing not out of fear, but out of hope. Thank you for reminding us that faith is not passive, but is an act. And thank you for reminding us that no one is voiceless, only unheard. And when that voice is rooted in faith, compassion, and collective action, it becomes unstoppable. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. And to close, I want all the preachers and rabbis and imams here to know, if the city council has got a preacher, it's our own Tim McCosker of the 1-5. So it's appropriate that we close with the 15th council
Thank you,
district.
Mr. President. As usual, the 1-5 will bring it home. Colleagues, Angelenos, and our 1-5 beloved communities, please join me in welcoming Pastor Robert Taylor to Chambers this morning. Pastor Taylor is an integral part of the faith community of the 1-5, the entire 1-5, from Watts to the waterfront, and it is my pleasure to recognize his service today. Pastor Taylor has proudly served as the senior pastor of the Beulah Baptist Church since April of 1990 and has been a preacher of the gospel for over 40 years. He started as a young child. Since becoming the lead pastor of Beulah Baptist, Pastor Taylor has helped foster a tight-knit community of faith. Pastor Taylor has also been fundamental in developing two organizations, the Southern Area Community Outreach Project and the Beulah Community Development Corporation. Programs such as senior citizen ministries, food distributions, literacy training, and even notary education have been provided through these organizations. But I will say, most notably, Pastor Taylor plays a key role in the 1-5 as the president of the Watts Area Ministers, the greatest acronym in the local business, WHAM, Watts Area Ministers. The Watts Area Ministers is a leadership group comprised of faith leaders in and around the Watts area, the greater Watts area, Watts and Willowbrook, who collaborate on spreading the good work. They host events that bring together the entire community of Watts, such as our annual ML King Day celebration. And this year's King Day celebration, which is in the ML King Plaza, which we're going to fight to protect because the state of California wants to sell it off or something. We're going to fight that, right? We're going to fight together. Yes, sir. And this year, our keynote speaker is herself, Auntie Maxine. So we're looking forward to that. Everyone is invited to King Plaza on ML King Day. I'm extremely grateful to have Pastor Taylor in my district and as my friend and as a counselor and as a religious leader, and I'm proud to honor him as the 1-5 honoree of the 2025 Clergy Appreciation Month. But also to bring it home, I want to point out that Pastor Taylor and First Lady Annie Taylor are celebrating this month their 30th wedding anniversary. And on Sunday at our very own Beulah Baptist, there'll be an exchange of vows at 2 p.m. Come early, be standing room only. I will be there, I hope, with my beloved wife. But I want to thank you, Mr. President, for having all of these great faith leaders here and for honoring all of our leaders. On behalf of the 1-5 in the city of Los Angeles, we have this beautiful certificate for Pastor Robert Taylor.
Thank you so much. Another big round of applause for all of our faith leaders. I just want to point out we got faith leaders who are being recognized, but a lot of faith leaders who are here just to support their colleagues in the ministry, and obviously our crew from Faithful St. Mark on Figueroa is here as well. So this is a very important celebration to me, so thank you all for being a part of it and bringing the lights that are around our city to this building for the world to see. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Great. Thank you so much, Council President. A great presentation. And as they're making their way off the podium, we have another wonderful, delicious presentation coming up from CD14 on LA food policy. So if I could ask Councilwoman Jurado to head to the podium.
All right. I'm standing in the shoes of, and I know I'm a lot shorter than Councilmember Price, But on his behalf, we are celebrating Good Food Day. This year's theme, Building an Equitable Food System, reminds us that access to healthy, affordable food is a right. Across Los Angeles, families are doing their best to thrive in a system that too often makes access to healthy, affordable food difficult. Yet every district in this city is also home to organizers, growers, small businesses, food workers, mutual aid networks, and neighbors who are building a better food future, one rooted in equity and care. That's the work we honor today, and we do so at a time when this work couldn't be more urgent. With the federal government shutting down, disrupting SNAP, WIC, and other essential food supports, thousands of Angelino families are facing increased uncertainty at the dinner table. In this moment, it's our local networks, our neighborhood pantries, our farm stands, our corner markets who are showing that resilience and care looks like in real time. In CD14, we are proud to uplift the Skid Row People's Market, a community-centered grocery store meeting residents where they are and honoring the humanity of those most impacted by food insecurities. Their work reminds us that when we invest in our community, we build a healthier, more just Los Angeles for all. And I want to thank the Los Angeles Food Policy Council, thank you, for their leadership in shaping a city where good food is not a privilege, but a right, and for bringing us together today to honor those who make that vision real. And I'd like to introduce Councilmember Tim McCosker of the 1-5 to say a few words.
Thank you, Councilmember. Thank you so much. Happy 14th Annual Good Food Day. Colleagues and all of our esteemed guests, thank you for being here. I'm honored to share space with my colleague, Councilmember Jurado, on this issue where we have the opportunity to announce Los Angeles Food Policy Council. The Los Angeles Food Policy Council is hosting its 14th Annual Food Day celebration. Food Day is a national initiative, and it is aimed at inspiring Americans to change our diets and our food policies. Every October, thousands of events all around the country bring Americans together to celebrate and enjoy good food and to push for improved food policies. The 2025 theme is Building an Equitable Food System, honoring the hands behind our food. It highlights the essential workers who grow, process, transport, cook, deliver, and manage our food every day, many of whom are under attack. We want to break barriers and build bridges to the critical need for healthy and nutritious food access. Part of the solution is to make our food system hyper-local by supporting small and family-owned businesses and farmers and local grows who contribute to local accessibility to enhance food security. In that very spirit, I am honored to bring forward and to have stand up the Wilmington YMCA, the Center for Community Wellbeing, Feed LA, and the folks that support them in the community as our 1-5 Good Food Champions. This is a group that provides an essential need for distributing food every single week, and especially at this time in our communities, creates an opportunity for folks who can't get out of their homes, who can't get to grocery stores, and they make sure that every single resident who asks for help gets help. The Feed LA program provides year-round access to nutritious food for families, children, and seniors. They contributed 133,000 pounds of produce to families in community in 2024 alone. 300 families are served monthly. 300 families served monthly throughout the drive by either walk-up or drive-through at the Wilmington location right on Avalon. Through delivery, the YMCA delivers close to 50 boxes of foods, dry foods, toiletries, produce, and even pet foods to families in community each week. So I just want to thank the Y. I want to thank the council. I want to thank you, Councilmember Jurado, for having me here. And let's hear it for these great organizations. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember McCosker. Next, I'd like to pass it over to Councilmember Hutt, who will recognize a coalition of street vendors across Los Angeles. These hardworking small business owners have been directly impacted by ongoing ICE raids, and the resilience and leadership deserves our recognition today.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Jurado, for bringing light to good food today, and the many businesses who nourish our community. While we're here, I just wanted to briefly acknowledge a set of entrepreneurs who bring food to our city, and that's our street vendors. Many neighborhoods across LA are food deserts, and access to affordable, fresh produce is limited. Street food vendors often provide the only source of fresh fruit, vegetables, culturally relevant foods within walking distance for many people that live in Los Angeles. Protecting them is not just about fairness, it's about public health and food equity. Street vendors are entrepreneurs, often operating to support their families and contribute to the local economy. They represent the spirit of our city and small business innovation that defines Los Angeles. When we see them targeted, it disrupts our city's values of inclusion and opportunity. It also drives these essential workers into hiding, cutting off access to food in vulnerable communities. Fear causes vendors to shut down, creating an even worse food shortage that hurts the families and individuals that depend on them. Our food vendors are our local drive-through, where we could stop and get a fruit bowl, or we could add some tahini to it to liven it up a little bit. As a city, we must stand together to protect our street vendors. These foods sustain our communities, their stories enrich our city, and their safety should be a shared civic priority. Thank you for allowing me to talk about our entrepreneurs that believe in the city and put their pole down in our neighborhoods. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Hutt. Very well said. And now I'd like to introduce Alba Velasquez, Executive Director of the Los Angeles Food Policy Council, to introduce the rest of this year's Good Food Champions.
Good morning, council members. My name is Alba Velasquez, Executive Director of Los Angeles Food Policy Council, a collective impact organization working at the intersection of food and nutrition security, economic development, and environmental sustainability. We are here today to honor Food Day, a global initiative celebrated annually aimed at bringing awareness, promoting action, and encouraging collaboration for a resilient food system. For the last 14 years, Los Angeles Food Policy Council has recognized and acknowledged Food Day in Los Angeles, which serves as the largest civic engagement event focused on food in the city. I'm honored to be joined by partnerships with Councilmember Kern Price as our sponsor of Food Day, and Councilmember Isabel Jurado and Councilmember Tim McCosker as co-sponsors for this year's event and resolution. This year's theme is building an equitable food system, honoring the hands behind our food, recognizing growers, farm workers, food vendors, and advocates as they play a key role in supporting healthy, affordable, and sustainable food access for Los Angeles residents. We would like to recognize the council's leadership on key food access initiatives, as well as recognize outstanding good food champions in each district. Over the past 10 months, our city's food system has faced growing strain from rising food costs and disruptions to school meals to ongoing threats, CalFresh and WIC, which over 1.5 million Angelenos rely on. Most recently, increased ICE activities has spread fear in our communities, deterring families from accessing food, distribution sites, corner stores, and local markets. This fear is not just a humanitarian issue, it's an economic one. Nutrition programs like CalFresh are vital to our local businesses, generating nearly 1.8 for every dollar spent when access is disrupted. Our neighborhoods lose both stability and income. Yet even amid fear, uncertainty, our food system continues to move forward. Thanks to the unwavering commitment of growers, vendors, advocates across Los Angeles, and many who are here today as Good Food Champions, we celebrate the resilience and recognize the Good Food Champions making our city stronger, more just, and better nourished. We thank our council members for uplifting leaders in each of your districts, for your continued partnership. Together, let's keep building a healthier, more equitable food system. Now, I'm excited to start calling all Good Food Champions within the city of Los Angeles. If you can please give an applause after each council district nominee to recognize each champion. Council District 1, Cultiva Los Angeles. Council District 2, North Hollywood Interfaith Food Pantry. Council District 3, Sandy Davis, UFCW, Local 770 from San Fernando Valley. Council District 4, Need from Carson. Council District 5, The Vegan Joint, West Los Angeles. Council District 6, Kaiser Permanente's Farmers Market, Woodland Hills. Council District 7, Steve List from Sylmar. Council District 8, Vallarta Supermarket from Crenshaw. Council District 9, South Central Lamp from South Central. Council District 10, Street Vendors from the council. Council District 11, Palisades Garden Cafe from Pacific Palisades. Council District 13, Labor and Community Services, MacArthur Park. Council District 14, Skid Row People's Market. Council District 15, Wilmington YMCA Center for Community Wellbeing, Feed LA. Thank you again, everyone. It's a very important and a special day to recognize the leaders in the city of Los Angeles amidst a lot of trauma, a lot of crisis that we've dealt with in the city, and I applaud again the council members for their leadership, for recognizing their constituents, their residents, and a healthy and moving towards a healthy and resilient food system in Los Angeles. Thank you.
So on behalf, thank you to all the Good Food Champions. And now on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, it's my honor to present the certificate to the Los Angeles Food Policy Council in recognition of your leadership, resilience, and commitment to building a just and healthy food system. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Jurado. Thank you and congratulations to all the Good Food Champions. What a wonderful presentation and an important recognition that we are all part of that important food chain. Let's move on with the meeting. What is next on our agenda?
Mr. President, public comment is next, sir.
Okay, let's move to public comment. If you could read the instructions in public comment.
Yes, so for members of the public who wish to provide public comment, please note that for the items that are on the agenda, public comment has been satisfied. However, you will have up to 1 minute for general public comment. So what we would ask is that you please wait until you hear the name that you signed up under called aloud, and then you can line up on your left-hand side of the council chambers, and then you will get 1 minute for general public comment. So as soon as you get to the podium, you can begin with your general public comment. If I could also have the interpreters make this announcement aloud to the room, please. So if you require hold on just a second. So, Mr. Candido, the item number 5 has been continued to next Wednesday. I would politely warn you, and I know you know the rules, but I have to, please do not disrupt this meeting, especially when I'm trying to give instructions. So this is your first and only formal warning. Okay, so if you require a Spanish language interpreter, please make sure to pause every few sentences so the interpreters can interpret.
Si requiere un intérprete en español, por favor asegúrense de pausar después de cada frase o dos para darle al intérprete la oportunidad a traducir.
Don't worry, we will pause your time while the interpreters are interpreting, so you will get the same amount of time as everyone else. Thank you.
Y no se preocupen, les pausaremos el tiempo mientras el intérprete está hablando, entonces recibirán la misma cantidad de tiempo que las otras personas. Gracias.
Additionally, if you have requested an accommodation under the ADA with the clerk's office, or if you would like to request an accommodation during the public speaking time, please raise your hand and get the attention of the sergeant so that they can work with you, and we will do our best to accommodate you. So with that, if we can start calling names, and again, once you hear your name called, you can line up in any order at your left-hand side of the council chambers. The order in which the names are called is randomly generated. Go ahead.
I will begin by calling the following names: Kangxi, Ariana, Sergeant Maurice, Alexandria, Boer, Sergeant Gunny, Murillo Cermino, and Cindy F.
And as we wait for the people to get to the podium, if it's your first time here, again, it'll just be sort of a loop. So once you're finished with providing public comment, you can exit to your right. So you'll enter from your left and you'll exit the podium area from your right-hand side. Good morning. You have 1 minute.
Good morning. I am Mario Zerbino. Thank you, City Council, for your attention. I have been witness and victim of LAPD's violent practices and false charges. I have been shot at with less than lethals and arrested. My citation states that I was arrested from a riot and was unsafe to release at scene. I have never been in a riot. We were lawfully participating in our First Amendment rights. LAPD Chief McDonnell is either unaware of the illegal tactics his officers are using against citizens, or he is turning a blind eye. Either way, he is unfit for this position. I urge you to serve the well-being of your constituents and vote a suitable replacement that will uphold the laws of this great city. Thank you again.
Next speaker. Go ahead, you have 1 minute.
Good morning, council members. While Los Angeles families are stretching $80,000 a year across nearly 3 people, this council itself pays $330,000 each, plus benefits to represent us. And somehow you still can't represent a protest without police barricades beating us to the location. You call this a sanctuary city, but the only people who seem safe here are the ones that are collecting a $250,000 paycheck. The rest of us are paying rent the size of your car allowances. The rest of us are being kettled and beaten and silenced for speaking out. Man, I must have picked the wrong profession. Maybe instead of a $3.3 billion police budget, you guys should be public servants and serve with integrity, which is what none of you have at this moment. Thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Sunny from CSUN, Bob M., Jennifer Kozak, Alex A., and Cadet Scarlett.
Good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Alexandria. I'm a resident of Los Angeles, an active community member, behavioral therapist, and more recently, an activist, investigative journalist, and terrified citizen of the United States. Since June, I have participated in protest demonstrations, mutual aid actions, rapid response networks, fundraising efforts, and so much more. Since June, I have watched as the community members fight harder for our rights than our elected officials do. I have watched the federal government slowly take over our city and not only inflict fear into our communities, but inflict fear into our local governments and every single one of you as well. In July, I was brutally arrested and detained by DHS, and just 2 weeks ago, I won my federal trial against them. I have heard from members of this council that we are doing everything that we can, and I'm here to tell you that it is nowhere near enough. There are over 20 protesters facing and being indicted for similar charges, all based on lies. We need your help. And every single week, we have people come up here and express that
Speaker,
need
your time
to
has
you.
expired. Next speaker. So to be clear, we have to give everybody the same amount of time. And so if you have additional public comments that you would like to make, or if we were unable to hear your comment today, you can provide written public comment at lacouncilcomment.com. Again, that's lacouncilcomment.com. You can find it at the top of every agenda, or you can do a quick Google search, and it should be one of the first things that comes up. Good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
About 20 years ago, I got involved with a little group that was trying to save a historic building in Pasadena. After doing a little research, I discovered that there was massive property and tax fraud going on, really obvious. So of course I reported it to the police. But what happened is that I was intimidated by goons while the police deliberately looked the other way. So since I could do nothing, I did nothing. Now, 20 years later, I decided to give it another shot. The police are still looking the other way, but what's interesting is that I'm no longer being effectively intimidated. Some public official is going to save himself by pressing for a military-level investigation of police misconduct, and I don't see why that shouldn't be you rather than someone on the Arcadia or Burbank City Council or some council in another state. Thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Mary, Katie LaFoon, Sharon Houston, Kitty Hollerith, Olivia Irene Fitzsimmons, and Katie LaFoon. Thank you.
Good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Kozak. On Saturday, October 18th, myself, my partner, and our 3 children participated in the No Kings protest at the MDC to express our constitutionally protected views and feelings about the current administration leading this country into fascism. At no point in time did any member of our family feel unsafe in this group of peaceful protesters during the 4 hours we were there. If I thought for even a second that our children were in any danger, I would have immediately removed them from the situation. Our children are ages 9, 11, and 15. They're the future generation of this country. Our children were there to use their voices. They held up their homemade cardboard signs in protest just like everybody else. They sang, they danced, more than welcomed by every member of this community. Around 7:30, LAPD unlawfully ordered the dispersal of this peaceful crowd. Projectiles were then fired, horse-mounted officers beating protesters with sticks, batons used. Clear orders were not given. We were not given reasonable time to comply. We were most definitely not given a clear and unobstructed exit path.
Good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Katie LaFoon. I'm here to ask you to remove Jim McDonnell from Chief of LAPD. We've heard the mayor of this city tell the nation and LA that it is not and will not cooperate with ICE, and it has encouraged us to stand up to ICE, to peacefully document and protect our neighbors, which we have done. And the LAPD, under the leadership of Jim McDonnell, is either operating under direct orders to protect and support ICE, to punish dissenters, going against the public wishes of the mayor, or LAPD is operating independently of McDonnell or Mayor Bass, because you cannot change the facts that LAPD is helping ICE in targeting protesters. There are hundreds of videos to prove this. They are not protecting peaceful protesters. They are quelling dissent, arresting organizers who get in their way, and doing whatever they can to clear the roads for ICE, to kidnap our community members. This isn't about public safety. This is about fear. LAPD knows that they are being filmed, they're breaking the law, and they're doing it anyway. We need your help. A 2/3 vote can remove Jim McDonnell. We are here.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker. Speaker, you are now disrupting this meeting. This is your first and only formal warning. Again, we have to give everybody the same amount of time, and so I would ask that you please vacate the podium as soon as your time is up. Again, if you'd like to provide additional comment. Okay, so I believe the woman in the, hold on. So the woman who's yelling out, this is your first and only formal warning. Please do not disrupt other public speakers. They did not interrupt you. And Mr. President, the woman in the jean jacket has been warned already, and it's eligible for removal if you would like.
And listen, this is what I'll ask of folks in the gallery. We're going to lose quorum shortly after 10 minutes after the hour. We are. So we can spend our time, this is your second warning, so we can spend our time going back and forth with you and giving warnings. All right, this woman in the black shirt, Sergeant, she's removed subject to Rule 12. So we can spend our time going back and forth with people yelling, or we can hear from speakers. It's completely up to you guys.
Okay, so the woman who's yelling out, I believe she's in a gray hoodie. This is your first and formal warning. And the woman who's holding up the phone currently on the right-hand side of the council chambers, again, we have to give everybody the same amount of time. If you've been at these meetings before, people come in and say a lot of things that you might or might disagree with or that might be offensive, but we have to give everybody the same amount of time. So by enforcing the rules, we're not trying to restrict your ability to provide your opinions, but we have to do it equally. So I would ask, please, the person who's at the podium now has been waiting patiently. Okay, so can we get eyes? I don't see that person. Okay, let's attempt this again. I'm sorry, you have 1 minute, go ahead.
This meeting was real boring till about now. I just wanted to say that I know that the state did not sign up with DHS for 287G, which is, which they get money from the DHS to train their officers. I looked it up. But on June 24th, I believe it was, when Andrea Velez was kidnapped on Main and 9th, LAPD formed a circle around the ICE agents and prevented her from getting free from this literal kidnapping. It was horrifying to watch. So I guess my request is, I just want to know the truth so that we can make decisions to protect ourselves and know if there really is a directive for LAPD to assist ICE. My issue is with the lack of transparency because we can't make decisions for our own safety if we don't know the truth. Thank you.
Where do I go? Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up John Mattingly, Jenny L. X, and Rob Kwan.
Is on? Okay.
Good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I want Jim McDonald removed, period. He has caused so much danger to everybody, and I'm hoping that you're paying attention, Mr. Marquise, while you laughing. And I don't appreciate you arresting my sister Taylor when she was giving her freedom of speech in August. So like I said, Jim McDonald needs to get removed because he has his LAPD ICE working for basically Trump and attacking us. And when they say, oh, it's time for dispersal, they're already shooting tear gas before we can even get time to get to disperse. So again, Jim McDonald needs to be removed. Marquise, you needs to get removed because you don't listen to the people. And how could you arrest your own people for freedom of speech in this office? You did it in August. Her name is Taylor. So I'm saying y'all need to remove Jim McDonald and get a better leader instead of a leader that's working for Trump rules instead of for the people's rules and protecting protesters. Because we're fighting for our rights, period.
Next speaker.
Hold my time.
Good morning. You have 1 minute.
And you do limit public speaking. Yes, quickly. Item 5 has been set aside, $750,000. Where's she at? The councilwoman. She questioned, Mr. McCosker questioned where that money was coming from. So thank you. I would like to submit more pictures for the fire that will happen in Porter Ranch. You guys are going to spend $750,000 to defend the Palisade area. Here is a future fire, and you folks won't do nothing. Why is it that you folks know, and they found out who started it? It was a cigarette that started it. How many cigarettes have I brought to you and showed you what they're doing up there? And all you have to do is remove or reinstate the restricted parking on that one little section. But no, you don't do it. And you continue, sir, the same restriction on public speaking that Ms. Martinez
Speaker,
started.
your time has expired. Next speaker. And I remind you've already received your first. Mr. Candido, you've already received your first warning. We do not want to have you removed. You can provide the exhibits to the handouts to the sergeants if you'd like. Good afternoon.
Come on, Mr. Candido,
Mr.
you're
Candido.
taking up Mr. Kwan's time. He's a
It's
good
okay.
guy. We want to
It's
hear from
okay.
him.
Okay.
I'll allow it. I'm good with
So,
it.
Mr. Candido, you've been warned already and now multiple times, and you are eligible for removal. Please do not continue to disrupt this meeting. Good afternoon. You have 1 minute.
I understand you continued item 5, but I want to know why the Brown Act doesn't require you to reopen public comment on that. On Wednesday, the city attorney originally presented this amendment as a minor technical change, and what followed, Grote? We saw Councilmember Rahman flag that there was a sudden and significant change and that the city of LA would be paying $750,000 and not LADWP. We had to bring up another city attorney to answer questions on the matter. We saw Councilmember McCosker pop up, Council President echoing all of those concerns. Then we had a 30-minute closed session that was followed by the Council President saying there was understandable consternation and that he was caught off guard by the true substance of the amendment. Before this whole discussion, the matter passed with just one dissenting vote, whereas after the substantive debate, we saw the motion fail with 4 new council members joining Adrian Nazarian in opposition. Is that not substantially changed? I'm looking out for the council president here. This whole session was about the FBI looking into him and demanding records. Maybe you can get away with this on other matters, but I'm sure the feds are listening right now, man. Do I need to go talk to my friends at the DA?
Next speaker.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up.
Mr. Kwan, this is your first and only formal warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting. Good morning. You have 1 minute.
Did you say I should wait?
Oh, sorry. We'll restart. Did you want to read more names or? Okay.
Thank you. So before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Eric Anders and Dan M.
Good morning. Good afternoon. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is John Mattingly. I'm here to ask City Council to replace LAPD Chief McDonald. This department has been managed irresponsibly. The management starts at the top with Chief McDonald. He has mismanaged staffing, deploying far more officers to peaceful protests than necessary. This overinflated show of force is intimidating and unnecessarily escalates the tension in the situation. I have talked to officers that do not want to be there. He has mismanaged tactics, unnecessarily injuring peaceful demonstrators and press. Both of these points equate to irresponsible use of city funds, granting officers pay and overtime like you gave him a blank check, not to mention liability payouts that should far surpass 2024 at this rate. This money could be used for essential programs and services that have been underfunded or cut, programs that each of you endorse, services that would support your voters, not intimidate or injure them. Please send a message to your voters and the LAPD by replacing Chief McDonald with responsible leadership that protects Angelinos. Thank you.
Good
Everything he
afternoon. You
said.
have 1 minute.
Los Angeles claims to be a sanctuary city, yet City Council and Mayor Bass allow LAPD and Chief Jim McDonald to abuse peaceful protesters when they're exercising their First Amendment rights to collectively state there will be no kings in the USA. Last Saturday, October 18th, just past 7 p.m., the LAPD, under the supervision of Jim McDonald, used excessive force, which was well documented by press and citizens, then widely shared on social media and the mass media, including CBS, where they beat citizens with wooden batons and trample people with horses. What are you all doing? Nothing! Nothing! The LAPD is being used by the U.S. government, specifically the Department of Homeland Security, to act as street gang, blocking off roads, forcing peaceful protesters and media to leave areas without declaring those areas unlawful to be president. What reason did the LAPD have to block off Alameda Street between Commercial and Temple on October 18th before 5 p.m.? They had none, except to unlawfully prevent protesters marching from all over downtown to assemble in front of the federal building to protest the overreach of our federal government. Mayor Bass loves to promote a decrease in crime, but the fact remains that Los Angeles has over 35,000 personal thefts.
Speaker, your time has expired. We have to move on to the next speaker. Speaker, you have already been warned. Please do not continue to disrupt this meeting. We need to move on to the next speaker. Okay, so Mr. President, the previous speaker who was yelling has been warned multiple times and is eligible for removal if you'd like. For members of the public who are here, we want to allow as many people as possible to provide public comment, but when you disrupt this meeting, and we can't regain control of the room, the only way to continue with public comment is to warn and remove you, which is not what anybody here wants. Good afternoon, sir. You have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
My name is Eric. You've heard from a lot of people telling you what we saw on Saturday night, and I was there as a photographer, but I want to tell you what I heard. I heard people in pain. I heard people pleading for their families. I heard people playing music, both joyful and angry. I heard drums and bagpipes. I heard chanting. I heard someone beg an LAPD officer to remember his oath, and he sneered in reply, "I don't work for you." I heard endless helicopters thumping overhead. I heard horns honking in support from the Hollywood freeway below. I heard community members on megaphones reminding us of our rights. I heard people in the crowd checking in on each other, offering water, snacks, and hugs. Somewhere in there, above and through all of that, I was apparently supposed to have heard a cop on the other side of that crowd warn that we'd been declared unlawful. I didn't hear that. Then I heard an organizer on a megaphone warn us that LAPD was moving in from all sides. People started to leave, which is what they wanted. Then I heard someone yell, "Horses." They charged. I heard them shooting people, and I heard screaming, and I heard my heart pounding in my ears as I ran. Remove Jim McDonnell. Thank you.
Stand up. Who's here to ask for McDonnell to be removed? Thank you.
Good afternoon. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
My name is Daniel Sosa. On October 11th, the LA Times reported how U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley of the Trump administration is influencing Chief McDonnell's personnel decisions within LAPD. But when City Council or a court of law gives LAPD a direct order, LAPD blatantly disregards it. Why is Chief McDonnell taking orders from the Trump administration and disregarding orders from you? Since June, LAPD has engaged in a campaign of harassment, intimidation, assaults, and arrests of peaceful protesters and press. LAPD has used prior restraint to block off streets in anticipation of protests. They have declared and enforced unlawful assemblies on completely peaceful crowds. They have consistently assaulted peaceful protesters and members of the press, despite a TRO preventing them from doing exactly that. This blatant disregard for their own internal policies, their disregard for the law and the Constitution, their disregard of judges' orders, and the disregard for the will of the people is a slap in the face to you and everyone in this city. They are damaging this.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up David Brown, Andy Garcia, and Jose Hernandez.
Good afternoon. You have 1 minute for general.
Gabe Dunn. I just wanted to talk about what you guys are able to do. On October 22nd, it seems like a motion was put forward to create more funding for LAPD, which is a very weird thing to do right now. It says $150,000 from homeless services account to be transferred to the police fund for overtime for police officers who are, as many people have said here, beating us. And yeah, I just am curious why Katie Yaroslavsky and John Lee put this forward, especially as the mayor gives lip service about Inside Safe constantly. So I'm just curious who makes the actual decisions in this city, why that would happen, especially at this time when we have given much testimony about LAPD helping ICE and DHS. And so it seems like there is stuff within your capabilities to do, even though you say not. And I wonder where the money's going. Thank you.
Next speaker. Good afternoon. You have 1 minute.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to address Officer Richard Rivera's, for calling us fake press. There's no fucking fake press out there. This is freedom of press, all right? And when you guys have everybody out there, all the LAPD beating everybody, one of the fake-ass officers cracked a girl's head with the skull, 6 stitches, six staples in her head with a wooden katana. What is that? What's going on? When LAPD comes out there and says, oh, we're making a legal assembly, we were there for freedom of speech, we were dancing, we were having fun, we were enjoying ourselves, giving our protest the way we protest. And then they came out there all aggressive for no reason other than just to beat everyone's ass. And when you guys are spending $160 million on people's civil rights lawsuits, and it's unfair, and free Palestine and fuck DHS.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Hunter Dunn and Alex Caruso.
Good afternoon. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
So, America, the biggest creator of refugees, has no right to legislate away immigration. An imperial country has no authority to deny entry to refugees that they themselves created through their capitalism bullshit. So no, they do not have the right to prosecute these people that are looking for a better life because we ruined their country. We don't have the right to persecute these people. And what are we doing? Working in tandem with fucking ICE, with fucking Gestapo. We're working with them. All of you, the police. I don't recall seeing any of you at King's protest. No King's protest. Where were you at? Why aren't you standing up to fascism? Why do you not see the fucking fascist orange elephant in the room? Where's your integrity? Where's your courage? Where is your courage?
Next speaker.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Michelle.
Good afternoon. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
All right, first and foremost, I want to say I love LA. And my question to all of you and the chief is, how do you all sleep at night? How do you all sleep at night? I used to believe that some cops were good, and then I realized that if you wear the fucking uniform, you're complicit. We cannot count on you or the chief to keep us safe. Your job is to serve us, the people. Chief, you and your cops have done the Angelinos such a great disservice, and we cannot and we will not stand for it no longer. We deserve a police chief from LA. We deserve to feel safe no matter what we identify as. I demand a leader. We demand freedom of speech. We will continue to fight for those who have been kidnapped. We will continue to march. We will continue to protest. We will continue to demand change. I dedicate this to all the natives in the MDC because we will never be immigrants on stolen land. Y que vive la resistencia.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Michael Ackerman.
My name is Hunter Dunn. I'm a spokesperson for the National 5051 movement, which put on the No Kings protest with over 7 million people last Saturday. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to demand that this council immediately remove Police Chief Jim McDonnell. I was there when a police officer stepped out of his car, pointed at a medic bearing the American flag, got back in his car, and ran him over. I was there when that happened. They would have hit more people if heroic people that day didn't move more people out of the way. That's not the only thing that happened. They brutalized protesters that night with horses, batons, and less lethal weapons. Not less than lethal, less lethal. In doing so, they injured 7 journalists in violation of a court injunction. The LAPD does not seek to serve and protect this community. Instead, it seeks only to kill and destroy, and to defend a fascist government that is taking our neighbors, our family, and our friends hostage. A real community force would not attack peaceful protesters. It would arrest ICE for its crimes against humanity. I yield my...
I will be calling the last 2 speakers up. I will be calling Jesse G. and Daniel Sosa.
Daniel Sosa spoke already. All right. So that will conclude public comment for today's meeting. We're going to lose quorum. All right, Madam Clerk, we've lost quorum, so we need to adjourn this meeting.
Council has motion. That's. This meeting is adjourned due to loss of quorum. Okay. Mr. President, to clarify, quorum has not been lost, so council has motions for posting and referral, sir.
They're posted and referred.
The desk is clear, sir.
All right. Are there any adjourning motions, members? All right. Seeing no adjourning motions, this meeting is adjourned.
Provides to them. And as a culture, they're very open and receptive to what the government says. And that's very unique. In the Western world like us, it's at the very local level. Emergencies are managed at the local level. So seeing the differences in those countries, as well as others like Turkey, where again, it's a very different, it's a culture, it's the history. And I think for me, one of the most amazing things is being able to see the history of those countries. I'm an Air Force brat. I traveled around the world. My mother's British, and my husband is actually Japanese. So being able to understand the cultures in my home and then see how they're applied at the government level was just amazing for me. It was engaging, it was fun, and then I was able to travel afterwards with my family to be able to see how that happened and then speak to family members and then really appreciate how they do emergency management was incredible. I'll never forget those traveling opportunities. I'm very grateful. As the emergency management coordinator, what does your daily schedule look like? Well, I think in emergency management or working in government, our days change as the years change. It used to be you come in and you catch up with your colleagues and you look and you jump into it. With technology today, it's ever changing. To come in and pick up voicemail, I get very, very few voicemails. But emails, we get hundreds of emails. So to be able to quickly vet your emails, to go through them, to see and prioritize what's important, to see who they came from. So if you have a way that you personally are comfortable to sort and prioritize, to align with the projects that you're working on, and to make sure that you also keep in mind the priorities of the agency that you work for. In emergency management, it's also critical to see what are going to have an impact today. We recently had an earthquake in Alaska, And to see one quick social media blip really then changed your focus immediately to find out, was it real? Was it valid information? Where did it occur? Is it going to have greater impacts? With an earthquake in the Alaskan Aleutian Islands, is there going to be a tsunami? And there was a tsunami warning for that area. But to quickly reach out to my colleagues and to find out where, how long, is it going to have an impact, and are we going to have a tsunami, changes everything until you get the information you need from those experts outside of your agency. And then being able to, and never forget, keep your supervisors and your management engaged and involved and share the most current information so that if we need to change our organization focus to respond to an event, you're always ready for that. You can never put that in the back seat. How does your role and responsibilities adapted to fit the needs of the pandemic? And how do you expect the industry to change in the event in the future, even after the restrictions are lifted? So I think the pandemic has really changed the way we do business. It's been almost 8 months. It has had a tremendous impact, both emotionally, organizationally. It's had a huge